Introducing Fujifilm NOIR. I can't believe it, I have it in my hand. Hey guys, Omar here. And Fujifilm NOIR is unfortunately not a camera that you can buy, but it's an awesome experience that you can create. So I'm going to show you how to create the Fujifilm NOIR experience. I've been having tons of fun of shooting noir with this little used X-T20. This is the original camera that started this channel. And I've converted it to a noir camera, and it's changed how I shoot. Let me explain. No time. Let me sum up. All right, first you have to order my awesome label here, $29.99. All right, so I made a couple of noir rules. And by the way, all these noir rules can be broken. Stay till the end of the video where I give you alternatives to the strict noir rules that I'm gonna give you to shoot a black and white camera. Rule number one, your Fujifilm NOIR is a designated black and white camera. Your noir camera could be a camera that's a second body, something you don't use anymore, something that's collecting dust. So it's a designated camera that does not shoot color. Two, it's great if your noir camera has a designated lens that lives on it full time. This actually gives you the best experience because your work will be very consistent. You're only shooting with a 23mm, you're only shooting with a 35. So I like the 27mm 2.8 because it's a nice little pancake lens. So when I carry my noir camera around, it's nice, small, and compact. But what I was using at first, which was awesome, is this super budget Zonlai 22mm. Now the colors that come out of this camera are pretty pukey, but on the noir camera, this lens shines because it's sharp, it's 22mm, it goes to 1.8. Now it is a manual focus lens, but who cares? I'm having so much fun with it, and that's what it's all about. So if you don't want to use one of your Fujifilm lenses, get a designated junky little manual focus lens that's sharp, super fun. Rule number three, this one's gonna hurt a little bit. You can only shoot in JPEG. There is no RAW and JPEG when you go full noir, okay? Okay? If you want to do it right. Now, this one hurt. When I first started, I was shooting RAW and JPEG. I ain't gonna lie. Because I wanted to see how I could manipulate my RAWs to get the look I want. Now, the black and white look that I want is a little cleaner. And at first, I was shooting at a high ISO to kind of get a film grain. But when I look at my ISO 1600 images, I wasn't really loving them. So I realized that I wanted a cleaner ISO 200, ISO 400 file. But once I knew what I wanted, I went straight JPEG, and there is no turning back. There is no fixing, converting. Now you can manipulate those JPEGs a little bit. However, you're stuck with the black and white. And I think that's important because when you shot black and white film, that's it. That's what you got. But you have to be ready for that if you're going full noir. Now, at first I had a noir rule that was no post-processing at all, but I quickly found that, some images needed quick fixes, like a little bit of exposure. And so I decided to leave it open for those of you that maybe like a little clarity, like I like a little bit more punch, just a little bit on the clarity. And also some of you like to add a curve to bring the shadows up and flatten those shadows to give it a little bit more of a film look. So we're allowing slight post-processing, not too much. Next, you're able to have a variety of films. So what's great is as you explore the different black and white settings that you can put, like more shadow, more highlight, less highlight, reduce the noise reduction. By the way, if you put it at noise reduction -4, you're gonna get more grain in the photos. If you keep your noise reduction up, your photos will be cleaner, but sometimes get a little bit digitally looking. So once you figure all these things out, you can set up different films. That's one of our rules. So you can have like a very clean black and white. You could simulate a film where you push the film, when you push the film and you get higher grain photographs, you could do that. So I was playing around with all this stuff and I realized that I really like the clean Acros film simulation with just, putting the blacks up a bit. So you could start with that. You could start with Acros film simulation. And then maybe add a red filter that makes the skies look a little nicer. And then you can start playing around with shadow and highlight. And the last rule is try to print one or two of these photos to get that little satisfaction. There's nothing like printing a photo that was black and white all the way through from, I know it's going through a sensor that can, record color. So not a true monochrome camera, but I have a print on my wall here, which I love, which is, printing the Acros film simulation itself. And so try to print one or two of them so that you get that little nostalgic feel of, hey, I shot black and white film. Okay, and some alternatives. You need to be able to break the rules. Some of you can break the rules. That's okay. This is all just for fun anyway. And you don't really have a full monochrome camera, which is a good thing. So those of you that are nervous about just shooting black and white, in case you get the most epic photo ever created and you want to if you want to present it in color, you are allowed to shoot as an alternative, cheater, RAW and JPEG together. That way you can get the colors back if you need them. But again, remember this, we're in territory where we're trying to shoot great black and whites, so you may be tempted to be dipping into those RAWs. So I recommend that when you bring your photos in from shooting your noir session, you know what? Don't look at any of those RAWs. Put them in a folder, put them aside, and work with your JPEGs. If the most epic photo you've ever taken happens to be in your noir collection, you're allowed to dip into your RAW files, but just this once. Second, maybe you don't have two cameras or don't want to invest in a junky little used camera. And some of these Fujifilm older cameras are a few $100, but if you don't want to invest in any of that, then I recommend that one of the alternative rules be that you make it a focus that you're going to shoot noir and go out for noir sessions instead. So take your one Fujifilm camera that you have and have some, presets set up, 1, 2, 3 that are just black and white and are just JPEG, and you go out and shoot in noir mode, which is kind of nice for the day or half the day, and then switch it back to RAW and JPEG and shooting classic chrome that you like. Next alternative rule, I actually use this one. I'm a little bit of a cheater. This really isn't a full noir camera. There are two JPEG settings, 6 and 7 on here. My custom setting 6 is total straight up Provia, okay? So I do have Provia set as an emergency, but it's still only shooting JPEG. And as a cheater, number 7 is a film recipe. And if you don't know about film recipes, follow the link I have below. There's a great website that gives you film recipes, and the gentleman that runs the site does an amazing job giving you different looks. And so I have a Kodak, I forgot what it is, I'll put it here, but I have a Kodak film simulation as my 7. So when I'm done shooting noir, I'll switch it to that. And if there's like good light or good colors, I'll get this like vintagey look, which is fun too. So as an alternative, you can turn your whole noir camera to a film camera that's color, but I like we're gonna allow a couple of regular film simulations as long as they're JPEG only. All right, so it's not a camera you can buy, but it's an experience that you can create. And that's what it's all about, having a good time, making great photographs. So leave your comments below, and I'll see you guys next time.